This question has puzzled humanity for centuries, evoking a mixture of awe, curiosity, and unease. Imagine a bustling city at the height of its power, its streets filled with traders exchanging goods, its temples echoing with prayers, and its rulers basking in the glory of their achievements. And then, one day it's gone. No signs of life, no definitive records, only ruins and unanswered questions. Such mysteries are not confined to the realm of myths, they are etched into the annals of history. Lost civilizations captivate the human imagination like few other historical phenomena. They remind us of both the triumphs and the fragility of human achievement. What could cause a thriving society, with advanced technology, cultural richness, and economic power, to simply cease to exist? The allure of these stories lies not just in their intrigue, but in their profound implications. They challenge our understanding of resilience, warning us of the delicate balance that sustains even the greatest empires. From the deserts of the Middle East to the dense jungles of South America, history is dotted with civilizations that rose to incredible heights only to fade into obscurity. Names like the Indus Valley Civilization, the Maya, and the enigmatic Atlantis evoke a sense of wonder and mystery. How could societies capable of such remarkable achievements succumb to forces beyond their control? Was it nature, human conflict, or something even more sinister? The legend of one such lost civilization forms the heart of our story. At its peak, this empire was a beacon of innovation and prosperity, influencing the world around it and shaping history in ways we are still uncovering today. Its people built towering monuments, mastered their environment, and cultivated a rich cultural legacy. Yet, despite their accomplishments, they vanished, leaving behind fragments of their existence and a trail of unanswered questions. As we embark on this journey, we will uncover the origins of this civilization, its meteoric rise, and the catastrophic events that led to its fall. Through the lens of history and the evidence left behind, we'll explore the many theories that attempt to explain its disappearance. Was it a natural disaster, an act of war, or a collapse from within? Could there be a hidden truth waiting to be discovered? By examining the rise and fall of this forgotten society, we'll search into the universal themes of human ambition, the pursuit of power, and the vulnerabilities that come with great success. What lessons can we draw from their story? And most importantly, could such a collapse happen again in our modern world? Join us as we unravel the mystery of a civilization lost to time. This is more than just a story of ruins and relics. It is a reflection of the human spirit, its triumphs, and its flaws. Let's step back into history and uncover the secrets of a world that vanished without a trace. Every great civilization begins with a story of resilience and ingenuity, and this one was no exception. Nestled in a fertile valley surrounded by protective mountains, this civilization's geographical position was a blessing. The lush lands provided an abundance of resources, while the rivers that snaked through the region acted as vital arteries for trade and sustenance. Its founders, visionaries with an eye for opportunity, recognized the potential of this land and established the first settlements. In the early days, life was not without its struggles. The fledgling society faced challenges from unpredictable weather, limited resources, and external threats from neighboring tribes. Yet, it was their unity and determination that laid the foundation for their growth. Through innovation, they developed rudimentary irrigation systems, harnessing the rivers to cultivate crops. The surplus food produced allowed their population to grow, and with growth came the seeds of a thriving civilization. Trade soon became a cornerstone of their success. The civilization's strategic location made it a hub for merchants, connecting distant lands and cultures. This not only enriched their economy, but also introduced them to new ideas, technologies, and beliefs. The blending of these influences fostered a society that was not only prosperous but also diverse and dynamic. As centuries passed, this civilization entered its golden age, a period of unmatched prosperity and achievement. Its cities were marvels of urban planning, with wide streets, grand plazas, and towering structures that showcased their architectural ingenuity. The capital city became a symbol of their success, with its palaces adorned in gold and intricately carved temples that paid homage to their gods. Cultural advancements flourished during this era. Artists and artisans created works that blended beauty with symbolism, leaving behind sculptures, paintings, and artifacts that spoke of a society deeply connected to its identity. Literature and philosophy thrived, with scholars penning texts that delved into topics ranging from governance to spirituality. Technological innovation played a pivotal role in their rise. They developed advanced engineering techniques, allowing them to build aqueducts, bridges, and defensive fortifications. Agriculture reached new heights with the introduction of crop rotation and tools that increased efficiency. Their economy was further bolstered by a robust trade network that stretched across continents, bringing in exotic goods and ideas. However, the hallmark of their golden age was their military prowess. Their disciplined armies and strategic brilliance ensured the civilization's dominance over its rivals. They established a vast empire, uniting diverse regions under a central authority. Their influence extended far beyond their borders, shaping the political and cultural landscapes of the ancient world. Yet, as the saying goes, every rise is followed by a fall, and even during their peak, there were whispers of discontent and forewarnings of decline. Political instability began to creep into the heart of the empire. Power struggles within the ruling class led to divisions, and corruption seeped into the administration. The once unified leadership became fragmented, unable to address the growing challenges. Resource strain was another silent warning. As the population grew, so did the demand for food, water, and materials. The land that had once provided abundantly now began to show signs of exhaustion. Deforestation, soil degradation, and over-reliance on certain resources created vulnerabilities that the leaders were slow to address. Externally, the empire's neighbors watched with keen interest. Rivals who had once been subdued now saw opportunities to exploit the cracks in the civilization's armor. Border skirmishes became more frequent, and alliances that had been the empire's strength began to waver. These early signs of trouble were subtle but undeniable. To the casual observer, the civilization still seemed invincible, its achievements a testament to human ingenuity. But beneath the surface, the very foundations of this once great society were beginning to erode. Every great downfall begins with a chain of events that, at the time, may seem inconsequential. For this civilization, the seeds of collapse were sown long before the fateful moment. Betrayals, natural calamities, and overlooked warnings each played their role in dismantling a society that once seemed indestructible. Political corruption had crept into the ruling class. Key figures, once symbols of unity, had become embroiled in rivalries and power struggles. Decision-making became fragmented, and policies meant to address growing concerns were delayed or dismissed outright. As the leadership weakened, the social fabric began to unravel. Nature, too, conspired against them. The rivers that once nourished their lands began to flood unpredictably, devastating crops and displacing communities. Earthquakes shook their most fortified structures, a grim reminder of how even the strongest foundations could falter. And yet, amidst these signs, the rulers chose complacency over action, convinced of their civilization's permanence. To add to the turmoil, external pressures mounted. A neighboring power, emboldened by the cracks in the empire's armor, forged secret alliances with dissenting factions. Whispers of betrayal echoed in the courts, but they were dismissed as baseless rumors until it was too late. The collapse was sudden and catastrophic, a symphony of chaos and destruction. The event began with an eerie calm, the kind that often precedes a storm. In the capital city, citizens went about their daily routines, oblivious to the impending disaster. Then, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the first signs of chaos erupted. A loud explosion shattered the silence. Flames engulfed key structures as armed insurgents, bolstered by the neighboring power, stormed the city. The once organized streets became a battleground. Women and children screamed, soldiers scrambled to defend their posts, and merchants abandoned their wares in a desperate bid to escape. Nature seemed to join the assault. A violent earthquake struck as the rebellion unfolded, toppling buildings and sending tremors of panic through the city. The ground cracked beneath the feet of fleeing citizens, swallowing entire sections of the once magnificent city. Fires raged uncontrollably, painting the sky with hues of orange and red as ash and smoke choked the air. The betrayal by those within the empire added to the devastation. Trusted generals turned their swords against their comrades, opening gates to invaders. The ruler, once a figure of absolute power, was cornered in the royal palace. Defiant until the end, they met their demise in the very halls that symbolized their empire's glory. By dawn, the city was unrecognizable. What was once a beacon of prosperity lay in ruins, its people scattered or slain. The collapse had unfolded in a single night, leaving behind a legacy of despair and unanswered questions. The survivors, those who managed to escape the carnage, carried with them stories of horror and loss. Entire families were torn apart, and the psychological toll of the collapse became evident in the days that followed. The streets, once filled with the chatter of life, were now silent except for the cries of those searching for loved ones amid the rubble. Neighboring regions watched in shock and trepidation. Some saw the collapse as an opportunity to seize power, while others were paralyzed by fear, wondering if they might suffer the same fate. Refugees from the fallen civilization flooded into surrounding territories, bringing with them tales of betrayal, destruction, and despair. The physical toll was equally harrowing. Crops had been destroyed, water sources contaminated, and infrastructure obliterated. Rebuilding seemed like an insurmountable task, and for many, the question wasn't when they would rebuild, but if they could. As the dust settled, the true mystery emerged. How could such a powerful civilization fall so quickly? The remnants of the empire became a haunting symbol, their ruins a testament to human vulnerability and the price of hubris. Throughout history, nature has been a silent yet relentless force, shaping the destiny of civilizations. In the case of this civilization, natural disasters could have played a pivotal role in its sudden collapse. The region where this empire thrived was known for its volatile environment. Droughts lasting for years, catastrophic floods, and violent earthquakes could have created a cascade of events leading to its downfall. Evidence from ancient soil samples suggests that the land may have faced prolonged droughts. Rivers that once provided life-giving water dried up, leaving fields barren and communities without sustenance. Crops failed, hunger spread, and desperation followed. Without sufficient food, the social structure began to break down, and survival became a fight for the fittest. Earthquakes, too, left their mark on the ruins of this empire. Archaeologists have discovered structures with foundational cracks and signs of sudden destruction consistent with seismic activity. An earthquake striking at the wrong moment could have toppled key buildings, destroyed infrastructure, and sent a wave of panic through the populace. The loss of central governance in such a scenario would have amplified the chaos, leaving the empire vulnerable. Floods, often considered a blessing for agriculture, may have turned deadly. Historical accounts from neighboring regions speak of rivers overflowing with unprecedented ferocity, sweeping away villages and drowning fields. The combination of these disasters, occurring in succession or even simultaneously, could have spelled doom for an empire that once seemed unshakable. If natural disasters softened the foundation of the empire, external threats could have delivered the final blow. The civilization's prosperity and strategic importance made it a tempting target for rival powers. Historical records from neighboring kingdoms suggest a period of heightened tension and conflict during the empire's final years. Archaeological evidence points to the presence of foreign weapons and battle remnants near key defensive sites. These findings suggest that the empire may have faced an organized invasion by a rival kingdom. The attackers likely exploited the empire's weakened state, launching coordinated assaults on critical cities and trade routes. Internal rebellions also played a role. Discontented factions within the empire, dissatisfied with leadership and economic disparities, may have allied with external forces. Historical records hint at betrayals within the empire, with key officials switching allegiance to invading armies in exchange for promises of power and wealth. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence is the discovery of hastily constructed fortifications near the capital. These walls, incomplete and crude, suggest that the empire's leadership was caught off guard, scrambling to defend their heartland as enemies closed in. The lack of preparation hints at either underestimating the threat or being overwhelmed by its magnitude. While external threats and natural disasters may have been immediate catalysts, the seeds of the empire's collapse were likely sown from within. Political corruption had eroded the trust of the people. Leaders who were once revered became symbols of greed and incompetence. Lavish spending on palaces and monuments drained resources, leaving little for the public good. Resource mismanagement added to the strain. Over-reliance on a few key resources, coupled with environmental degradation, created vulnerabilities. Forests were stripped for timber, fields were over-farmed, and water supplies were misused. As resources dwindled, so did the empire's ability to sustain its population. Leadership failures played a critical role. Historical texts describe a period of indecision and infighting among the ruling elite. Ambitious generals and politicians vied for power, neglecting the needs of the people. This lack of unity left the empire directionless, unable to respond effectively to crises. The lower classes, burdened with heavy taxes and neglected by their leaders, grew restless. Small uprisings became more frequent, further destabilizing the empire. By the time external threats and natural disasters struck, the empire was already a hollow shell of its former self, unable to muster the strength to survive. The collapse of this once mighty civilization sent ripples through the world, reshaping history and influencing neighboring societies in profound ways. When a dominant power crumbles, the resulting vacuum often leads to significant shifts in politics, economics, and culture, and this was no exception. Neighboring kingdoms and tribes were quick to seize opportunities. Some expanded their territories into the ruins of the fallen civilization, while others absorbed refugees, gaining knowledge and skills from these displaced people. The sudden influx of ideas, languages, and crafts enriched these regions, creating new cultural hybrids that defined the next era of history. Trade routes that once centered around the civilization were disrupted, forcing merchants to chart new paths. This led to the rise of alternative hubs of commerce, forever altering the economic landscape of the region. Yet, the absence of the once dominant trade center left a lasting void, a poignant reminder of what had been lost. Globally, the collapse served as a warning. Observers in distant lands chronicled the fall, interpreting it as a lesson in the dangers of hubris and unchecked ambition. Even centuries later, scholars and leaders have studied its story, drawing parallels to their own societies and policies. The fall of this civilization offers critical lessons for modern societies. At its peak, it seemed invincible, a thriving center of innovation and power. But beneath its glittering exterior, cracks had formed, driven by internal discord, environmental strain, and short-sighted leadership. One of the most pressing lessons is sustainability. The civilization's over-reliance on natural resources, coupled with environmental degradation, was a major factor in its decline. This serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance required to maintain harmony with nature. In today's world, as we grapple with climate change and resource scarcity, the story resonates more than ever. The importance of resilience cannot be overstated. This civilization's inability to adapt to changing circumstances be it natural disasters or external threats, sealed its fate. For modern societies, adaptability is key to survival, whether it's in the face of technological disruption, political upheaval, or ecological challenges. Perhaps the most poignant lesson is the cost of ignoring warning signs. The civilization had opportunities to course correct, but failed to act in time. This highlights the importance of proactive leadership and collective responsibility, a lesson that holds relevance across centuries. Even as the civilization's physical presence faded into ruins, its story has lived on, immortalized in art, literature, and popular media. The rise and fall of such a powerful society continue to captivate imaginations, serving as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration. Artists and writers throughout history have drawn upon the civilization's legacy, using it as a metaphor for human ambition and vulnerability. Ancient texts romanticize its achievements, while modern works often focus on its downfall, exploring themes of greed, betrayal, and resilience. In popular culture, the story has been reimagined countless times. From epic novels to blockbuster films, the civilization's rise and fall are often used as a backdrop for narratives about power, ambition, and the human condition. Documentaries and historical dramas have brought its ruins to life, bridging the gap between past and present. This cultural symbolism ensures that the civilization's story is never truly forgotten. Its enduring appeal lies in its universality. Its struggles and triumphs mirror the human experience, making it a timeless narrative that continues to resonate with audiences across generations. The story of this civilization is one of unparalleled rise and a dramatic fall. From its humble beginnings to its golden age, it was a beacon of progress, innovation, and power. Its advancements in culture, technology, and governance shaped not only its people but also the world around it. However, its sudden collapse serves as a haunting reminder of the fragility of even the mightiest empires. As we've seen, natural disasters, internal conflicts, and external threats may have contributed to its downfall. The ruins and artifacts left behind tell a story of resilience and brilliance, but they also echo with warnings for those who study them. The civilization's enduring legacy lives on through its influence on neighboring societies, its lessons for modern times, and the cultural fascination it continues to inspire. Could our modern civilizations face a similar fate? This is a question that lingers as we reflect on the lessons of history. The parallels are striking. The overuse of natural resources, political divisions, and the tendency to ignore warning signs until it's too late. Are we truly prepared to heed these lessons, or are we destined to repeat the mistakes of the past? The collapse of this civilization reminds us that no society is immune to the forces of change. Yet, it also highlights the human spirit's resilience and ability to rebuild. It is a story of both caution and hope, urging us to balance ambition with humility and progress with preservation. As we look to the future, let us remember the past, not as a distant tale, but as a guide for navigating the challenges of today. The story of this civilization is not just history. It is a mirror reflecting our potential and our vulnerabilities. What do you think caused the fall of this great civilization? Could it have been avoided, or was its fate inevitable? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this journey through history's mysteries, don't forget to subscribe to Whispered Eras. Together we'll continue to uncover the secrets of the past and explore the stories that shape our present and future.